Good morning, students. Welcome to P.N.AMERSEY e-learning classes. Today we are going to learn chapter number 8, Cell Structure and Functions, part 4. Students, in your previous video, you have studied about plant cell and animal cell in detail. Now, in this video, we will study about parts of cell. And our first part is cell membrane, or we can say plasma membrane. Every cell is covered by a thin sheet of skin, which is called cell membrane or plasma membrane. The cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane. In other words, cell membrane encloses the living parts of the cell called protoplasm. The cell membrane protects the cell and also gives shape to the cell. The cell membrane has tiny pores in it. The cell membrane controls the movement of substance into the cell and out of the cell. The dissolved substances such as food like glucose, and oxygen can enter into the cell, whereas the waste products such as carbon dioxide can go out of the cell through the pores of the cell membrane. The cell membrane separates the cell from one another and also from the surrounding medium. The cell membrane or plasma membrane is living part of the cell. Now we will perform activity 3 in order to observe the basic components of the cell. Take an onion bulb. Onion is a plant. Remove the dry pink coverings, that is peels. You can easily separate these from the fleshy white layers of the bulb with the help of forceps or even with your hand. You can also break the onion bulb and separate out thin layers. Place a small piece of the thin onion peel in a drop of water on a glass slide. The thin layer can be cut into smaller pieces with the help of a blade or forceps. Then add a drop of methylene blue solution. Methylene blue solution gives color to the onion peel to the layer and place a cover slip on it. While placing the cover slip, ensure that there are no air bubbles under the cover slip. Observe the slide under the microscope. Draw and label the diagram. Students, after performing activity 3, we will observe that the boundary of the onion cell is the cell membrane, covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. As I told you earlier that cell wall is present in plant cell. The central dense round body in the center is called the nucleus. The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called cytoplasm. So student, another structure present in the cell is called cell wall, or we can say cell wall give protection for a cell. You have learned earlier that the cell membrane gives shape to the cell. In addition to the cell membrane, there is an outer thick layer in cells of plant cell called cell wall. This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by the plants for protection. Plant cells need protection against variations in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. They are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. Now students, we will perform activity 4 to observe the animal cell. Take a clean toothpick. or a matchstick with the tip broken. Scrape inside of your cheek without hurting it. Place it in a drop of water on a glass slide. Add a drop of iodine and place a cover slip over it. Alternatively, add 1 or 2 drops of methylene blue solution. Observe it under the microscope. You may notice several cells in the scarped material. Figure 8.6 that you can see in figure 8.6. You can identify the cell membrane and the cytoplasm and nucleus. A cell wall is absent in animal cells. Students, this type of structure you will see in the microscope. This is human cheek cell that you can see in the microscope. It consists of a nuclear membrane, a nucleus and a cytoplasm, but cell wall is absent in animal cell. Now student, there are many parts of cell doing many functions. Let us see some of them in both the cells. It means in both animals and plants. Students, another part of cell that is present in both animals and plant cell is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a transparent jelly-like material which fills the cell between the nucleus and cell membrane. Cytoplasm is a kind of chemical factory of the cell. Hence, new substances are built from materials taken into the cell, and energy is released and stored. In fact, most of the chemical reactions which keep the cell alive take place in the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm of a cell has many tiny structures in it. The various structures present in the cytoplasm of a cell are called organelles. The most prominent organelle in the cytoplasm is the nucleus. In addition to nucleus, cytoplasm of all the cells contains other organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi bodies and ribosomes, etc. The cytoplasm of the plant cell also contains chloroplast. The cytoplasm and the nucleus taken together make up the protoplasm.